Welcome to Insurance Talk Texas, brought to you by Shell Insurance Agency, North Texas's #1 business and personal lines insurance agency for the past 100 years. Call us today at 972-423-4546 for a quote, or visit us at shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. Now, here's your hosts. Here's something most people don't realize. Where you live in Texas completely changes your insurance challenges. Houston's worried about flooding. Dallas deals with hail. The Permian Basin has oil and gas risks, and the coast needs windstorm coverage. Your zip code determines everything.
So Texas insurance really isn't one size fits all?
Not even close. Let's start with Houston and the Gulf Coast. This is one of the most flood-prone metros in the country. Hurricane Harvey back in 2017 generated over 90,000 flood insurance claims and $125 billion in damage.
But if you're not in a flood zone, you don't need flood insurance, right?
Wrong. That's the biggest misconception. Harvey flooded tons of properties outside designated flood zones. Houston's flat terrain and clay soil create risk everywhere. The Harris County Flood Control District actually recommends all residents consider flood insurance. And here's the scary part. 1 in 12 Houston property owners has dropped their coverage because of premium increases.
What does flood insurance cost in Houston?
Average is $1,500 to $2,000 per year, but it varies. Some pay as low as $800, others over $3,000. Good news though, Houston has Class 5 Community Rating System status, which means residents get a 25% discount on NFIP premiums. They're working toward Class 4, which would bump that to 30%. But here's critical. Standard homeowners policies do not cover flood damage. You need separate coverage, and there's a 30-day waiting period. You cannot wait until a storm's approaching. Shell Insurance can help you navigate flood insurance options before hurricane season. Call 972-423-4546. Now, Dallas-Fort Worth. Completely different problem. They're in what's called Hail Alley. Texas ranks #1 nationally for hail events. Between 2012 and 2021, 1,243 hailstorms hit Texas, some causing $2 billion in single events.
And insurance companies are dropping people's policies because of hail?
Yes, non-renewal complaints doubled from 79 in 2023 to 190 in 2024. People are getting dropped even with no claims history, just based on future hail risk. Texas had $20 billion disasters in 2024, so carriers are cautious, but the market's still competitive. If you get non-renewed, shop around immediately. Visit shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com.
What else should DFW residents know?
Understand percentage-based deductibles. If your home's insured for $300,000 with a 2% wind hail deductible, you're paying $6,000 out of pocket before insurance kicks in. That's huge. Also, invest in impact-resistant roofing for premium discounts. And hail damage isn't always visible. Roof membrane bruising shows up months later. Get professional inspections after storms. West Texas and the Permian Basin, totally different ballgame. This is oil and gas country. The Permian Basin produces 40% of U.S. oil and 15% of natural gas. But here's a crazy stat. Car accidents are twice as likely to be fatal in the Permian Basin compared to the rest of Texas.
Twice as likely? Why?
Heavy truck traffic, high speeds, poor road conditions, and limited emergency services. That's why commercial auto insurance is critical for businesses operating there, and workers' comp is optional in Texas, but extremely risky to skip in oil and gas. These are dangerous operations. Without coverage, you lose all legal protections against employee lawsuits.
What insurance does an oil and gas business need?
General liability, commercial auto for fleet vehicles, workers' comp, even though optional, pollution liability for environmental risks, and umbrella coverage for high-risk operations. Shell Insurance specializes in West Texas commercial needs. Call 972-423-4546. Finally, South Texas and the coast. This is where TWIA comes in, Texas Windstorm Insurance Association. They're the insurer of last resort for 14 coastal counties with over 237,000 policies. Average TWIA policy runs about $2,480 per year.
Is that separate from regular homeowners insurance?
Yes, critical point. Standard homeowners excludes wind and hail in coastal areas, so coastal residents need 3 policies: dwelling coverage, TWIA for wind and hail, and flood insurance. Hurricane Beryl in 2024 caused over $2.5 billion in Texas damage. TWIA has paid out nearly $259 million in claims and expects to empty their $450 million reserve fund.
What's the timing issue with TWIA?
Once a named storm enters the Gulf, TWIA stops selling new policies and making changes. You cannot wait until a hurricane's approaching. Coverage must be in place before hurricane season, which runs June through November. Same with flood insurance, 30-day waiting period. Plan ahead. Shell Insurance can help you compare TWIA with private market options. Visit shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. Here's the bottom line. Texas insurance varies dramatically by region. Houston needs flood coverage even outside flood zones. DFW deals with hail and non-renewals. Permian Basin requires specialized commercial coverage, and coastal areas need 3-part insurance packages. The key is understanding your regional risks and working with experts who know your area.
So regional expertise really matters.
Absolutely. Shell Insurance understands Houston flood zones, DFW hail markets, Permian Basin commercial needs, and coastal windstorm requirements. They compare multiple carriers to find the best regional rates and explain complex requirements in plain language. Whether you need flood insurance in Houston, hail coverage in Dallas, commercial policies in Midland, or windstorm protection on the coast, they've got the expertise. Call 972-423-4546 or visit shellinsurance.com. Don't wait for the next flood, hailstorm, or hurricane. Get your regional insurance sorted now.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to visit our sponsor, Shell Insurance, for all of your business, homeowners, and auto insurance needs. Call them at 972-423-4546 for a quote, or visit their website at shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. See you next time.